Hour.
Hello and welcome to the Horror Hour, the show where we discuss, debate, and disagree on all things horror. I am one of your hosts, George, and today I'm joined by my fellow co-host, Liam. Hi, Liam. And today we've got a little bonus for you here. We are actually going to be doing a little interview with Sarah Yarkin, who is going to be playing Melody in the upcoming Texas Chainsaw Massacre Netflix movie, which is super exciting. So we're going to sit down with her now. We're going to ask a couple of questions, see how it goes. And we are super. How excited are you, Liam? I think it's going to be a good one.
Real excited.
Yeah. So stick around for that, and we will see you after. Bye, guys. So as we said, we are joined by the fantastic Sarah Yarkin. So Sarah, thank you so much for giving us some time today. How are you?
I'm so good. Thank you, guys.
Brilliant. Well, we'll start off real quick. We've got to ask you, so without any spoilers, of course, what can you tell us about Melody and where we find her at the beginning of this film?
Yeah, so Melody is this like cool young entrepreneur from Austin. And she has these hopes with her business partner, Dante, to come to this ghost town and revitalize it and make it like the cool, new, sick place to be. And she brings her younger sister with hopes to convince her to come live there with her. And unwittingly awakens the most notorious serial killer of all time, Leatherface.
Damn. She didn't think that one through, did she?
No, we didn't know.
Well, speaking of Leatherface.
Oh, I love your background.
Oh, thank you.
Hell yeah, what's up?
Stolen to make sure nothing behind us is seen. So I have to ask, obviously, with you mentioning Leatherface, what was it like meeting Leatherface in person on set for the first time?
I mean, Mark and I had like taken a flight from, where was it, Paris to Bulgaria together. So I'd like talked to Mark. We had talked a little, we shared a van, whatever. So I knew who Mark was. I wasn't scared of him. And I will say I knew what the mask looked like. You kind of get used to it. It's not scary anymore. At a certain point, you're just like used to it. And on set, I never felt scared, except one day we were rehearsing a scene and Elsie and I are talking and we're like, blah, blah, blah. And then I had no idea that Mark had been called to set yet. And I like turn and he's standing right there wearing the mask. And I fully screamed, like not acting at all. Like it was horrifying. Like I felt all of me just like collapse. And that was terrifying.
I can imagine. I mean, he's so like iconic, like every horror Halloween scare, he's always there in all those like Halloween parks. So I can imagine like seeing the real Leatherface is like, oh my God.
I'm also like scared of everything. Like I'm not a horror person. Like I could watch any movie and find a way to be scared watching it. Or TV show. Like if there's too much darkness, I'm scared. So like everything in this is terrifying.
Terrifying. I love it. Well, talking about horror in general then, obviously Halloween 2018 kind of gave this real great burst to horror to kind of reinvent those old classic horror franchises. So from your perspective, what do you think it is about those classic franchises that keep bringing people back time and time again? Like we keep wanting to see more and more.
Well, I think specifically with Texas Chainsaw, because again, I have trouble watching horror movies and try to not do that so I can sleep at night. But having seen the original, I think there's something so iconic in how like psychologically demented the first movie is and just like really psychologically messed up that sticks with you. I mean, the grit and the grain of it feels so raw. And I think after seeing the original, I was like, oh, I understand why people are obsessed with this movie and why it has so many iterations and spinoffs. There's something just so sick about it.
Yeah, I think, and there's so many different like variations that each time they all build upon this legend, but they all bring something new, which I really like about those films, and I'm really excited to. We haven't seen it yet at this point, but we're going to, and we're really excited to see what comes.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah, definitely. As so we haven't gotten to see it yet. So again, it's another spoiler-free question. So without spoilers, how would you say this connects to the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Because obviously we already know through the advertising campaign, obviously it is just picking up from that one.
Right.
So where would you say it is within
it's
the
about,
world?
50 years in the future now from the original. And it is a direct sequel to the original movie. which I think is so exciting that I get to be a part of. And Sally Hardesty, who's the final girl in the original movie, now is a big part of this. And she has this survivor's guilt of being the one person who survived that brutal massacre of all of her friends so many years ago. And she's back with this vengeance to be like, I'm going to friggin' end this now and for all. And seeing that cross paths with my sister, with Lila in my story, it creates this really interesting mix of the past and the present and the future and all of that together.
I like that. A blend of both, isn't it? That's just sounds super cool. Well, I'll ask one of my final questions before I give Liam the last question. What was it like getting that call? I have to say, just going back to them, like, hi, yeah, you're going to be in the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Right. Well, so I had auditioned like February 2020 and heard it was me or that I was going to get it, but I had nothing signed, nothing concrete. And then COVID happened and I didn't hear anything for 4 months. I like completely lost my mind. I like got a dog. I was like living in a yurt. I was like, I don't know what's going on with anything. Like, did I just get that role or not? And then months later, I got the call and they were like, it's happening. We're going to Bulgaria. Like, are you down? And it was just the best feeling. I mean, I was like, I get to act and I get to do this thing that I was like so excited to do. So it was super surreal, actually. I was like, let's freaking go.
Yes, love it.
That's amazing. Well, to finish it off, it is a staple for our channel, so I have to ask it, even though you've already said you don't really watch horror films. So our usual question is, what's your favorite scary movie? Obviously, it's a different franchise, but still. It doesn't have to be a horror film. It's just whatever you find scary.
Okay, well, I will
Could be musicals.
Okay, there's a lot of movies that I find scary that aren't scary movies, but I would say this counts as a horror movie. I loved Get Out. Obviously, I think that's just such a smart movie, and it's so scary. And Us, I love as well. With like the social commentary aspect of it, I think it's an incredibly smart and terrifying movie. So I love that it's able to strike that balance.
Yeah, Jordan Peele is
brilliant,
iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for giving us your time. We had a super amazing time and we can't wait to see the film, and we hope you have an amazing rest of your day. So thank you.
You too.
You have been listening to the Horror Hour. See you next time.